Good morning, guys. This is kind of an impromptu stream of consciousness, Tercel talk, only because I've been doing this in this car for years, talking into the rearview mirror, and my friend from North Carolina, Clementine Tron, said, "Look, you need to record those things." So here we go. By the way, I'm in the Tercel. My lovely wife Wendy, said to me this morning, "I'm really enjoying the Tercel talk, but how come you don't cover anything politics? You know, you got the degree in political science, you're a political junkie." I said, "Here's the deal. I want to be the antidote for that. I want people to feel like when they're on Facebook and they see my face in the video, they go, 'Oh, thank God,' because there's nothing political, religious, whatever in the Tercel talk." Yeah, think of it this way. The Tercel is 1,500 pounds of sheet metal and vinyl antidepressant, anti-anxiety. That's my gig. While we're on the topic of the Tercel, I didn't tell you, I forgot to tell you, my friend Elisa, one of my comedy students I gave a ride home to the other day, when she saw the Tercel, that I was actually driving that full time, she goes, Tercel talk is good. I think you should call it Comic and a Clunker. Last night I did an auction for Sheldon High School, the athletic banquet. I got hired by Janine, who works at the Chamber, for the Eugene Chamber of Commerce. And she was, I guess, the mom volunteer in charge. So she was as nervous as George Bush at a spelling bee. And I get there. She's got a list of duties for me. She goes, "Do you mind leading the Pledge of Allegiance?" And I said, "No." As I'm looking around this giant room, looking, I go, "No, I'd be delighted to lead the Pledge of Allegiance. And I don't know a lot about Pledge of Allegiance protocol," I said, "but I think we're gonna need a flag." So I took her from panicking here to panicking here. Fortunately, there was a PowerPoint slide somewhere in the deck with a flag on it, so that's how we led and I'll give you a little more about the Pledge of Allegiance in a second. Secondly, after she talks to me, Janine goes over, gets on the microphone, she's making an announcement about the silent auction. And she came back over afterwards, and I said, "Can you take a little bit of constructive criticism?" She goes, "Oh, dear God, what?" I said, "Well, as my wife Wendy would say, get your defenses up, because you're not going to like to hear this." She goes, "Oh, God." So I said, "That last announcement, it was a little screechy. Just a little screechy." She goes, "Really, what did it sound like?" "Rock! Silent auction closes in 5 minutes. Rock!" She goes, "What am I going to do?" I said, "Well, A, you could have me do the announcements, which will only go so far because you're opening up the shindig here. In about 15 minutes, you're going to talk for 5. B, you could do what they always say to do, picture everybody in the audience naked, although I've seen some of the folks near the buffet, and they shouldn't be naked in the shower. So that might not work." A little tip, by the way, a local tip for those of you watching in Eugene, Springfield. Willamette Family Nudist Resort, clothing optional. Willamette Lane Recreational District, not so much. Trust me. Anyway, what can I do? I said, well, number one, the microphone is a sound reproducing device. So you don't have to speak up. Just get close to it and it will do the heavy lifting. B, don't broadcast. Just talk as you're talking to me now. Speak as if you're speaking to one person. And this is the advice I give to anybody who's having difficulty with public speaking. So I said, I'll sit right down front so you can see me from the podium when you open the show, and just pretend you're talking to me. So I sat down front, I'm holding my breath. Janine starts speaking and her voice is dropped an octave. She's slowed down a beat. She delivers the information, then a funny aside, another funny aside, and I'm thinking, oh my God, do you know how difficult it is for somebody who's not a professional speaker to be given advice in the center of the storm, a storm as volunteer leader mom she's in charge of, and they actually assimilate, they actually take the advice in, and minutes later, the results are spectacular. She did a great job. And we raised a potload of money, and we had a lot of fun. They were giving away tickets to the Civil War football game, and the line was, "C2 contenders in the Pac-12 go at it." I'm thinking, Ducks? Beavers? This year? Contenders? Yeah, no, come see Helfrich's last Civil War game is what I said. He's the coach. If you're from outside of Eugene, he coaches the Ducks, at least for the next couple of games. Yeah, where's what's his name? Chip What's Chip's last name? The former coach of the Ducks, man. How soon they forget. See, that's the thing about memory. I was going to tell you that. I got on stage because I'm leading the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'm thinking, I start into it. We found the flag. I start into it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. I realize I haven't led the pledge in forever. And I'm asking myself, because I have a two-track mind, I can be talking and doing, and the other part of my mind's going, is this the right? Am I getting the Pledge of Allegiance right? Boy, this is going to really look bad if I blow this. Because I'm 60 years old. The pledge is in there somewhere in that memory, but, I was afraid I was going to go into one of the elementary school, ladies and jelly spoons, I come before you to stand behind you to tell you something I know nothing about. This Thursday, which will be Good Friday, there's a mother's meeting for fathers only. Admission is free, pay at the door, take a seat, sit on the floor. Wear your best clothes if you have not any. And if you can come, please, dear God, stay at home. That's from, 4th grade. Here's my question. How come that is top of mind, but I can't find my car keys? I don't understand. Memories like that seem to be on the, I guess this would be a metaphor, on the desktop of the mind. Those worthless, useless pieces of information. Okay, all right, everybody in your car right now, sing with me. Anybody over the age of, say, 40. You ready? Oh, sit right back and you hear a tale of a faithful trip. Are you with me? It started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was, you got it, mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. How many passengers? 5 passengers that sailed that day. For how long? A 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough. You know the rest. Why is that on my desktop? And I forget to call my accountant on the 14th of September when my quarterly taxes are due. Why is that? Is it age? No. And the information's all in there, but I'd like a little more of it on the desktop as I get older. Here's another one. Was it the Brady Bunch? Can't quite. I remember there was a man named Brady who had 3 handsome sons of his own. And together they were all alone until the lady met the fellow. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't as big a Brady Bunch fan as I was a Gilligan's Island fan, because let's face it, I mean, Florence Henderson was attractive, but Tina Louise and Dawn Wells? See, I got half. Anyway, why? How come I can remember? Jim Gaffigan's got a great bit about being middle-aged and using the microwave. You put something in the microwave, 5 minutes later it goes ding, and then you walk back in the kitchen and go, let's see what's in the magic box, because you have no idea what you put in there to cook. Anyway, that's a long way of saying that Janine did a great job last night of organizing the auction. I'm looking forward. She asked me if I'd be willing to come back next year, and of course I will. It's, 252, Event 52 did a great job. And that's owned by the Market of Choice. And did you know my wife, my lovely wife Wendy, works at the Market of Choice? And let me leave you with this. People all the time ask me, is your wife funny? I'll let you guys be the judge while you're trying to remember the rest of the Brady Bunch song. I'm on a ship, working a cruise boat. In the morning I write. I do a lot of writing, joke writing in the morning. I prop up in my little bunk there, somewhere in the Mediterranean off the coast of Naples. And one morning I wrote a joke, and I realized it was a great joke, but it really didn't fit my act. So I emailed it to a friend of mine, Steve Kelly. S. Kelly is his pen name. He's a political cartoonist and comedian. We did a radio show years ago called Kelly and King in San Diego. The only radio job I've ever had. Then when I got fired, I cried. Oh, and get this, they fired the comedians off the radio show on April Fool's Day. I thought the pink slip was an April Fool's. That adds insult to injury. But anyway, nothing, I'm bitter. I sent Steve Kelly the joke from the cruise ship, and he sent a note back immediately. Sold, and I'll give you $100. So when I got to the port that day, when I got to Naples, and by the way, the best thing about T-Mobile, 120 countries around the world, 20 cents a minute on the cell phone. In Oregon, they suck. I've got a 4-bar 4G signal in downtown Cartagena. I'm in Salem, Oregon. I go under a bridge, I lose the signal. What's up with that? Do you remember there's a comic that's got a joke about Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden planned the 9/11 attacks from a cave with a cell phone. All right, I want to know who his provider is. Anyway, man, I have been off on more tangents this morning. So, in the bunk, wrote the joke, emailed it off. This is just for review, because I'm reviewing for my own benefit. Emailed it off. An email comes right back. I'll buy it. I'll give you $100. I get to the port. I use my T-Mobile phone, which, by the way, works very well in Naples. And I say to Wendy, honey, you're not going to believe this. This morning, I made $100 lying flat on my back in bed. There's a long pause, and then she says, what a coincidence. And I probably should have told you this up front. This is episode 4 of Tercel Talks. We'll call it What a Coincidence. Yeah, I probably should have put that at the beginning, but you guys know what this is. Hey, listen, if you like it, laugh, like it, share it. That's in the sales business, the radio sales business. That's the call to action. If you like it, if you laugh, like it, share it. If not, and if you don't share it, I still love you. You guys have a good weekend, and I'll, as I said in my first episode, Breaker 19, you got the Carolina Kingfish. I'll see you on the flip-flop.